I'm not sure. I think we could do a lot better than that. Keep in mind, it is a beautiful day here on the Emerald Coast. And guys, it's summer. So how are you all doing today? Well, that is excellent to hear. My name's Colton, and I'll actually be your host during today's dolphin presentation. But before we get started, I'd like to introduce you to the true stars of our program, our 4 male Atlantic bottlenose dolphins. So starting all the way over to your right, we have our 5-year-old male. This is Chopper, coming out to say hello to everyone. Now right next to Chopper, we actually have the youngest male in this habitat. Here is 3-year-old Zeke giving a big wave hello this morning. Now all the way on the opposite end of our dock, we have the oldest male in this habitat. This is 21-year-old Sebastian. And last but certainly not least, we have our 13-year-old male Cosmo asking for some applause. This is VIP screamer for the big Jacob. So everybody give Jacob and Cosmo a round of applause. Now I'd like to take this time to thank each and every one of you for allowing us to share our dolphin family with yours and share with you some of the amazing skills and adaptations that these mammals possess. It is our hope that you leave your visit today and go back to your friends and family and help spread the word about some of the dangers that marine mammals face out in their ocean world. Now to start off today's presentation, you may have heard me refer to our stars as being mammals. However, it's not uncommon for people to mistake them as being fish, since they can spend their entire lives in the water. But since they are mammals just like you and I, let's go over some characteristics that we all share. Now, being mammals, they will actually give live birth. Female dolphins have a gestation period of about 54 weeks and will give birth to a single calf weighing about 30 pounds and just under 3 feet in length. Now that calf will actually nurse on the mother's milk for about 1 to 3 years of its life, and they have a really neat adaptation that allows them to curl their tongue into a straw and latch on the mother's mammary glands and not ingest any of that salty salt water when they're soaking up that milk. Now I need your help on this next one, guys. Do you think dolphins are actually warm-blooded or cold-blooded? Warm, exactly. Just like us, dolphins can regulate their own body temperature, and similar to us, it stays anywhere in the mid to upper 90s. Now this next characteristic, I need your help as well, but it's a little tricky, so I'll give you guys a hint. What do we all have on the tops of our heads? Hair. Now I know what you're thinking. You're looking down here and going, wait a second, I don't see any hairy dolphins. And you're exactly correct. However, dolphins do have hair in the form of whiskers along their bottlenose beak or rostrum. These hairs do actually fall out several days after being born, and we believe they're there to help dolphin calves locate mother's mammary glands when they're just beginning to nurse. Now on to our last characteristic. Do you think dolphins breathe using gills or lungs? Lungs, exactly. Just like us, dolphins breathe utilizing lungs, and they use that blowhole located right on the top of their head. Within a fraction of a second, our stars are able to take a quick exchange of breath that allows them to hold their breath for 7.5 minutes. In fact, if we listen in, I do believe our stars will demonstrate the true quickness of that breath. Excellent sneezes, boys. Now, it's also a little known fact that all those whistles, clicks, and squeals you all are hearing are coming from that same blowhole. And I do believe our stars have prepared a wonderful song for you all this afternoon. So, boys, take it away.
I like the clicking voice.
Excellent job. What did y'all think of that amazing band of song? Well, now that we've gone over those characteristics that make up a mammal, I'd like to take this time to tell you guys a little bit about the adaptations that help out our stars in their underwater world. Mainly, all those fins and flippers. So I'm going to be calling upon Sebastian to give you a better view of all those fins and flippers. Now we're going to be starting with the one right on their back. This is their dorsal fin, and it's used to stabilize the dolphin in the water, much like a keel on the boat. Check out Chopper and Cosmo there, giving you a great view of that dorsal fin with their merman impression. Now that dorsal fin actually does not contain any bones in it. It's made up of connective tissue, similar to the cartilage in our ear. In fact, that dorsal fin is unique to each individual animal. So I challenge each and every one of you to be able to identify all 4 of our dolphin stars just by looking at that dorsal fin right on their back. Now next up, we're going to be moving to either sides of our dolphins to their pectoral flippers. Now these are great for high-fiving trainers or even asking for some applause from you all this afternoon. But these are what allows our dolphins to make those lightning-quick stops and turns in the water. And unlike that dorsal fin on their back, if we take an x-ray of their pectoral flippers, you will notice they do contain bones in the form of 5 digits, similar to our own hands and even our feet. Now moving all the way down to the ends of our dolphins, we have their tail fins or flukes. It looks like our stars are giving you a great view of their tail flukes. Feel free to wave back at them this afternoon. Now those tail flukes, you will notice I said there's flukes plural, as there are 2 of them, and they're connected right in the middle by something known as the median notch. Now just before this area, there's a group of muscles that make up that peduncle area. This is the powerhouse of our dolphins. In fact, they use it in a common hunting technique known as a tail lock, in which they slap the surface of the water, temporarily stunning their prey, making it easier to swallow whole. I do believe some of our stars will demonstrate that tail lock behavior.
The second one from the right.
Great demonstration, boys. Now it's this same peduncle muscle that allows our dolphins to lift themselves up and out of the water to get a better view of all of their surroundings. Great job, Zeke. But what did you all think of those amazing adaptations? Now at this time, I'd actually like to call upon our VIP, Jacob. You see, he is actually going to help us out being our honorary veterinarian. Because I'd like to take this time to fill you guys in on why we train, and that is for our medical care, or what we here at Gulfarium refer to as husbandry behaviors. Now Jacob, you are our honorary veterinarian. So it looks like you have your patient Cosmo there, and you're going to notice that Stephanie has placed Cosmo in a different layout to get an overall better idea of his body condition. You see, dolphins, they don't have hands to high five or even shake hands. So they actually use their teeth to interact with each other. These sometimes leave rake marks, which are small parallel markings along the dolphins' bodies. So Stephanie, as well as our other trainers, will place our dolphins in these lookovers every single day and even every session to get a great idea of their overall body condition. Now Jacob, I saw you got the chance to actually touch and interact with Cosmo, and I bet a lot of guests in our audience have never had that opportunity. So Jacob, do you have your best guess, or do you have your best description about what Cosmo there feels like? I agree. Jacob said he feels very soft. Did you know dolphins actually exfoliate their skin every 2 hours to stay nice and streamlined in the water? Now Jacob, we're going to switch up your job occupation just a little bit. You're going to be our dolphin dentist. So you can see Stephanie there has asked Cosmo to voluntarily open his mouth. Now since you are our expert, Jacob, I just want you to look in Cosmo's mouth and go ahead and count all those teeth. Don't worry, we'll wait. I'm just kidding, Jacob. You don't have to count all those teeth. There's actually quite a bit. But do you have your best guess about how many teeth Cosmo there has? 200. That is an excellent guess. Dolphins have about 80 to 100 cone-shaped teeth. But did you know, Jacob, they actually don't chew their food? Dolphins use those cone-shaped teeth to grasp those slippery fish and swallow it whole. Now this next behavior, it may not seem that exciting, but it's actually one of the most important we here at Gulfarium can train. You see, Stephanie there has actually asked Cosmo to present his tail fluke. Now why this is important is dolphins have a large vein that runs at the base of that tail fluke. We've actually trained our dolphins to take a voluntary blood sample. You see, dolphin blood is very similar to that of our own, so we can actually take that sample and analyze it in our lab and make sure our dolphins are not only doing amazing on the outside, but also on the inside. So Jacob, what we're looking for is for Cosmo to remain very calm and relaxed for someone who we may not know, just like yourself. So Jacob, how do you think Cosmo's doing today? He's doing great, Jacob. I agree. What do you think we can give him that lets him know he's doing such a good job? Fish, exactly. So Stephanie's gonna hold you a fish, and hang on 1 second, Jacob. Now you are our expert, so would you be able to tell our audience what kind of fish that is? No, that's okay, Jacob. I'll tell you what, it is your first day on the job, so I'll help you out. Jacob, you see, that right there, it's a dead fish. But it happens to be Cosmo's favorite. Now, Jacob, I do have one last request. Can you go ahead and smell your hand for me? Ooh, what do you think? A little fishy, huh? Well, have no worries. We here at Gulfarium have created an amazing training tool that allows us to get rid of that smell. So, Jacob, why don't you go and repeat after me? Take those hands and just rub them together. This actually releases all those fishy scales. And you're going to wave them nice and high to actually air out that smell. And Jacob, all you have to do is wipe them on those really cool shorts. Don't worry, Jacob. That smell will come out in about 2 to 3 weeks. But you were an excellent honorary veterinarian. Why don't you hang out there with Stephanie, and let's give Jacob a big round of applause. Well, now that we've talked about why we train, we're actually going to take this moment to fill you all in on how we train. And it's actually quite simple. You see, we start with something known as a target, in which we ask our dolphins to place their bottlenose beak or rostrum along the flat, open palm of the trainer's hands. You can see our stars demonstrating this target behavior right here at the dock. Now, once this is established, we can actually take that target hand and change it up a bit to train a variety of behaviors. So to give you an idea, if we take that target hand and move it up and down, we might get a big head nod yet. And if we take that target hand and move it side to side, we might get their favorite answer of, no way. We can even take that target hand and move it into a circle for their version of a hula dance. And some of our stars can even incorporate a second target hand for their version of a jig behavior. Excellent job, Steve. Now the behavior we're going to be breaking down today is called beaching, in which the trainers ask the dolphins to come up and out of the water onto this blue mat you can see right here in the center. Now you're going to see our trainers utilize that same target hand, because as you can see, they have the targeting behavior down right here at the surface of the water. But we're going to challenge that a bit and bring that target hand further and further away, asking for Zeke here to target himself onto the mat. Now why this is important is because when Zeke is up on this mat, we can actually get a great view of his overall body condition and gives us a better idea of his different lookovers. So it looks like Zeke has came up to the target, lifted his tail, and you did hear that whistle. That lets him know that he did what his trainer was looking for. So let's all give Zeke a round of applause for that beaching behavior. Now the next behavior we are actually going to be working on is a backwards tail walk. You see, that first behavior really helps us out for our husbandry care, but this next behavior is really important for exercise. So you're going to see Cosmo, who we actually saw earlier with our VIP Jacob, he's going to be working on this backwards tail walk behavior. Now this behavior actually takes place further away from the dock. So, as you can imagine, Stephanie there can't quite reach out over the water to reach Cosmo in the center of the habitat. So that's where this target pole has come into play. So you're going to see Sam here offer that signal to Cosmo, and he's going to follow that target pole further and further away. and perform that backwards tail walk behavior. What did y'all think of that exercise session? Great job, boys. So as you all can see, it is the overall health and well-being of our stars that is of the utmost importance, but also the health and well-being of their ocean counterparts. You see, Atlantic bottlenose dolphins are currently not listed as endangered. However, they do have many threats from people. You see, we try to feed them occasionally out in the wild, and this encourages dolphins to approach boats where they're more susceptible to propeller strikes, ingestion of foreign objects, and unfortunately, the intentional harm from people. It's really important to remind you all that per the Marine Mammal Protection Act of 1972, it is illegal to get within 50 yards of not only dolphins, but all marine mammals. So we ask that if you see a dolphin out in the wild, that do not only keep a safe distance from them, but also all of our local wildlife. But y'all have been an amazing crowd, and I do believe our stars have a bit more showing off to do. I strongly recommend you direct your camera or cell phone to the center of our habitat, and our dolphin stars will show you what they're truly capable of. Let's do that one more time for our Atlantic bottlenose dolphins. Thank you all for hanging out with us today, and on behalf of myself, our trainers, and of course, Sebastian, Cosmo, Zeke, and Chopper, I hope you all have a great day here at Gulfarium Marine Adventure Park. Bye everyone.
What you think? What you think? Is that cool?